Hey everybody, today I want to talk about the information we get when we're in fish stores. Now in particular I want to talk about big chain pet stores, PetSmart and Petco in particular. Those are the two I go to frequently. And yesterday I went to both of those and I got really excited when I went to PetSmart. I saw a fish that was not in stock, and I'm glad it wasn't because I would have brought it home yesterday on an impulse purchase, but it was a Salvini cichlid. I've seen them before. I don't know much about them, but they look beautiful, and when I read the tank, it tells you the maximum tank size or minimum tank size and all that stuff on the tank. And so when I read that, I thought I could do this fish. It said that the minimum tank size was 50 gallons. And that it was mildly aggressive, and that it was a community fish with caution, etc., etc. And I thought, okay, the tank I want to put that in, that sounds pretty good. And so I came home. Again, they didn't have any in stock. I was going to go back today being the day they get their fish in for the week, and I was hoping they got some in. Fortunately, I had time to talk to a few people. I did a little bit of research and I looked into the Salvini, and I found out that they get much bigger than that. It's usually suggested a 90-gallon tank is what you need for them, and they should only be kept with larger, more aggressive fish like a cichlid community and not really kept in a community tank. It also didn't mention anything at the store about how they will basically eat any fish that's smaller than them. That would have been helpful to know, since the tank I was putting it in would eventually have had fish that would have wound up being small enough to be eaten by this as it grew larger. And so it really would have been a mistake for me to bring this fish home yesterday. And all of that was based on me reading the label in the store and getting excited about it, saying that I could do this. This fish would work for me. And so I was thinking about it today, and it's a word of caution for all of us. I'm human, and I do the same thing a lot of us do, and sometimes we will set aside maybe a little bit of our knowledge, a little bit of our common sense, if we see information that sort of tells us what we want to hear, and it's something we're excited about. And so I sort of took my years of experience of knowing that you don't trust what it says on the tank. They always underestimate it. They always make it sound easier. They want you to buy that fish. And so they're not going to put stuff on that tank that says, ooh, this is a big fish and it's going to be really aggressive once it gets in your tank. They say, oh no, you can put it in a 50. It'll be fine in a 50 or a 55-gallon tank. It's a fine community fish. They want you to buy it. I know this. I've known this for years, and yet I'm still susceptible to those moments of like, oh, I want this fish. And as a result, I sort of dismiss the idea that the information I'm reading right there is probably wrong. I should go home and look into this before I just buy this large cichlid. Now, again, in my case, I was fortunate enough that they didn't have any in stock, or I would have come home with this fish yesterday, and I'm really glad I didn't. So, again, just a little word of caution. Just usually take a moment. Impulse purchases are not always bad. I don't discourage people from making impulse purchases. Sometimes they're necessary. Sometimes it's a fish you've been looking for a really long time. You happen upon it, and you buy it on impulse because you know the next time you come back it may not be here. I haven't seen one of these for 2 years. I'm going to get it while I got the opportunity. Sometimes impulse purchases aren't bad. If you've got multiple tanks like I do, you can maybe move some stuff around or whatever. But impulse purchases are still impulse purchases, and they're not necessarily well thought through. So always remember that as well. And when you're doing an impulse purchase where it's a 9-inch aggressive cichlid, that's a little trickier than buying a couple of Corys or a Coolie Loach or something on an impulse where you've got lots of room to move them around. So anyway, no real point to this video other than just cool your jets a little when you get excited about a fish, and maybe stop and take a little more time than I did to think about it. Again, I'm sharing this experience because I'm human. I do it all the years I've been keeping fish, all my experience with knowing how fish stores work, and yet I'm still susceptible to getting that moment of excitement where I really want to get that fish. So I'm going to trust what they say on that little label right there. Don't trust what it says on that little label right there. They're never right. They're always trying to encourage you to buy a fish, and they're always going to tell you the kind of stuff you want to hear in order to get you to buy it. So that's all I got for you today. Thanks for watching. Make sure you're subscribed. Ring that bell, all that good YouTube stuff. And don't forget, I do a live stream every Friday night and Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We just hang out in the fish room for a few hours. You can pick my brain, ask me questions, or just hang out and have a good time on a Friday night or whatever with me. So sign up for that. Make sure you're subscribed. Ring that bell, all that good YouTube stuff, and I will see you real soon in the next one. Thanks for watching.